my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to this video, which is one of my Ukraine update videos. And if you don't know, my brother and his wife are living in the Ukraine. They're working there for the last 20 years and they're in the middle of the war zone basically. So if you want to know more about that, I do have a playlist. I'm going to link it right here so you can catch up on everything that has been going on. And of course today I'm going to give you an update on what has been happening. Now beyond that, I also of course want to introduce myself in case you don't know who I am. I'm Leorah. I'm a makeup artist and stylist. This channel right here is usually a beauty channel, and that is what my job is because I'm working as a makeup artist and as a stylist. But of course right now in these dire times, I'm also going to dedicate my channel a little bit to this whole situation, okay? Beyond that, of course, we are also trying to raise money, and we have an amazing indie makeup raffle going on, and of course also that you will find linked in the description box, because there you can just win super cool indie makeup by giving a donation to the cause of my brother's work in the Ukraine. Now he's running a farm there, and he is also right now taking a lot of refugees in. Up to 20, I think, that's the maximum number that they can handle. And there I can already update you on something, because one of the families that had been living with them now for quite some time actually went back home. You know, they kind of inquired if their house is still standing, how the situation is, you know, and they decided to go back home. Because of that, a room had become available again and they were able to take someone else in. Now this is where the whole story starts, because this is kind of really shocking, because there was actually a man who had been forgotten by his relatives. I don't know if that is even possible or if forgotten means purposely forgotten. I don't know. I cannot really judge it either, because war times are super crazy, and I don't know. Now, we're talking here about a 77-year-old man. He is fit and he is, you know, he does his own thing, but he is kind of a little bit strange according to what my brother told us, and a little bit high maintenance also. All right, so that might just be one of the reasons why he got left behind, but he was still fleeing from where he came from, and he kind of stranded in the village where my brother lives, and then he kind of got directed towards my brother. All right, so this is how it is. They took him in. He's 77 years old. I don't recall the name right now, but the first days that he was staying with them seemed to be a little bit difficult, but now it has gotten better, and he's opening up, and he's also telling his story, you know. Beyond that, he is also inquiring, of course, if he can go back, because basically everybody who is fleeing at the end of the day wants to just go back home and go back to our normal life and do what they have been doing and see the people that they have been friends with for their whole life and all of these things. Now, this old man has a list of his friends, his neighbors, and he kept calling them, and he could actually not reach any of them anymore. So he was like, okay, so maybe they fled as well. Now, the last one on his list, he was scared to call, because he was like, if I cannot reach anyone, it kind of means that my family is gone and all my friends are gone, and like, where do I belong? Where do I still fit in? You know, how do you build a new life at age 77? I mean, I know people do it, but it's not easy, you know. So in any case, at some point, it took him a couple of days. At some point he decided to call that last number, and there actually someone answered the phone, and there he got kind of a very sad confirmation that actually all of the other people he had called beforehand have passed away, you know, because of the war. So that is just so horrible, and he was heartbroken, absolutely heartbroken. Now, you can only imagine what my brother and his wife also are doing, not only in farm work, but also in trying to build up people, trying to bring, I don't know, like it's almost like a therapeutic work that they also have to do, and they are not trained for this, you know. They're just like going with their gut and trying to feel themselves into the situation. And I don't know, they're also praying a lot, obviously, because you need to get your strength from somewhere, right? So now this morning I actually had a conversation with my sister-in-law, and I'm filming this the day before you're seeing this, okay? So, and she was actually very close to tears, and she was like, Leorah, when will our freedom come? When will the miracle happen, you know? And it is very hard for for me to hear her like this, because she is an incredibly strong person, you know, both of them, also my brother and also his wife. They are incredibly strong people. For me, they're role models in what they're doing. You know, they're hands-on people. They're like in it all the way, and they give what they can. And it is really, really incredible how they are standing in this whole situation while they themselves don't really know what is going to happen, and how they can help and how long they can help, you know. Now it also is, of course, that a lot of people are asking them, how long are you still going to be here? And then what do you say? Because you don't know. But people kind of looked up to you because they need you to be there in order to feel the strength, because you are their strength. Do you relate to the situation? Maybe you have a situation in your life where you have a lot of people working under you or looking up to you or something. And then when this basically pillar of strength falls away, what happens then, right? Because this is exactly what they are saying then to my brother and his wife. What will happen to us? What will happen to us if you leave and go to Germany? Because they have the right to go to Germany. They're German citizens, you know. But right now, as of right now, they're staying there. They have no reason to leave in that sense. And they also have peace in their hearts that this is their place right now. But of course, their bags or their suitcases are always packed. They always have, of course, their travel documents ready and everything, so they can leave within like 5 minutes, you know. So in that connection, I can also kind of update you on something else we spoke about last time, because maybe you remember that I spoke to you about one of their staff members. She is a woman. She's working with the dairy cows, and she is basically the one who is in charge of all the other ones working with the dairy cows and milking the cows and all of that. So she is the best horse in the stable. Sorry, I just don't know how to say it in any other way. She is the main milking maid. All right. So I think her name is Ina. So she had asked my brother if he can arrange for them to flee towards Poland, towards Germany, somewhere towards basically the West. All right. So of course my brother was like, how am I going to do this? How will we manage here when you're not here anymore? You know, there is nobody who can take your place. Nobody knows the cows like you do, the equipment like you do, the schedule like you do, all of these things. Now, I am not very much informed about all the inner workings in like dairy cow milk production and all of that, everything that one needs to know, but I'm sure there is a lot that is going on that, you know, there needs to be someone in charge, and she is that person. Now, they came to an agreement that they're going to try to help Ina's family, which is then, I guess, the husband and children, to be transported towards Poland so they can flee. And whenever the time comes that my brother and his wife need to flee or need to like just go, that they are going to take her along. Of course, that also poses more problems in a sense, because of course when you flee and you're one person more, that is of course already a whole different ballgame than if you're just fleeing as two people. Yeah, but that is what it is. So they have this agreement. She is staying for now, so at least the farm can run. The dairy cows are being milked and handled, and of course also the production of the milk is super, super important for the people that they are helping on the ground, you know, in the different facilities where they're bringing their milk, and also of course people in the village and whoever comes by. So that is one thing that I wanted to update you on. The other thing that is also a story that we spoke about last time was actually because one of the staff members of my brother and his wife also went to Mariupol to actually get family out. Now, again, I don't know, and already last time I didn't know what the family connections are exactly, but one of the staff members went to Mariupol and tried to get the father, the mother, the sister, and I think the sister's children out of Mariupol. Now, I knew already back then that they had made it out of Mariupol. They left, and then at some point they got stuck in a different city because they ran out of diesel and they were not able to buy more diesel. All right, so that is the information that I had by last week. Now, this morning when I spoke to my sister-in-law, she updated me on the situation. So actually, when they were stuck in this other city, I think it was like Berchtesgadensk or something like this. Not really familiar with all these names, but something like that. So they were actually stuck in that city for a bit because first of all, it was not easy to get new diesel for the car, and also because actually the mother got sick and she was not fit to travel. She had like problems breathing breathing and, you know, with her lungs and things like this. So they actually had to take a bit of a moment there. I think they had to delay for a whole day till they then tried to leave this whole region. And there was a corridor where they actually could escape that city, because also that city was under Russian control. I don't know how it is now, if it is still Russian controlled or not, I don't know, because the front lines are shifting also a little bit. But the end of the story so far is that basically the family got taken to Alexandria, which is one of the bigger cities closer to where my brother lives. And there they have been also taken care of medically. And of course now the family is reunited. And I do believe that I also have pictures of this, so I'm going to try to put them on top of me. All right, so sweeties, these are the two updates that I wanted to give you from last week. Now beyond that, I also wanted to of course tell you what has been happening this last week. Now they had a few days of really nice spring weather, which meant that my brother went out in the fields, you know, because this is of course what they do at this time of the year. They have to get of course the fields ready, and they were starting to sow. I think they were sowing barley and alfalfa, and beyond that of course doing all the preparatory work for all the other fields, because they have quite a few. So that is of course something where my brother also said, this is so strange, because I'm kind of working on the fields for something where I have no idea if I'm going to be able to bring in the harvest, you know. But sometimes you just have to also take the leap of faith and just trust that you will, or someone will, you know. Maybe if he's not there, maybe someone else will be able to harvest, and maybe it will get them through a rough time or something. Who knows? You know, it's not in our hands, but this is what they've been doing. So they have been for a couple of days working really hard on the fields. What else have they been doing? They actually managed to buy, I think, 5 tons of flour, which is amazing. So now in their own bakery, they can of course then produce way more bread and all of these things that they're giving away. So that is super cool. And you know, just imagine you're part of this. You're part of this, your donations, because part of it has already gone to my brother, and your donations are in that flour, you know. And they were also, I mean, just imagine 5 tons of flour, you know. It's also not only going into their own bakery to produce bread, but also they're kind of filling it into like bags and then giving it away in smaller portions, so then people can also use it on their own. So that is really nice. Beyond that, they also managed to get a big truckload, or several truckloads, I don't know, of potatoes. And right now, because of course supermarkets being empty and you know, it's a little bit hard, but what they have is potatoes and a lot of white cabbage. So the whole diet is a little bit limited, but my sister-in-law actually said it is kind of really cool how many recipes you can come up with that contain potatoes and white cabbage. So that is kind of really funny. But in any case, you can't lose your humor, your good humor, because you know, it is just something that also keeps you going in such a situation. You cannot just sit there and cry the whole time, right? So, but the main thing really, what really became clear to me also throughout all these conversations that we had this past week, is what it also does to them emotionally. You know, for example, on last Sunday, he told me, my brother, he told me that he was actually trying to take a nap in the afternoon, and one of the refugee women actually had taken, in that time, she had taken the vacuum cleaner and she was vacuuming the refugee quarters, you know. And my brother, while he was kind of sleeping, he heard this weird noise, the humming and this noise of the motor of the vacuum cleaner, and he was immediately thinking this is an air raid siren and they need to run, you know. So it is so weird that normal things of normal life, you know, are just triggering such reactions. Also, a story that was not last week, but it's just in general what they have told us, is that, for example, when they were all sitting together for breakfast, and for example they were making toast in like a toaster, and the toast pops up, you know, and it makes this noise of when the toast pops up, that actually the children were like, you know. So it is, sweeties, what these people are going through, you know. And I feel so sorry, and at the same time I am so proud of all they're doing there, and everybody who is helping, because also the refugees themselves are of course taking responsibility and helping on the farm and doing things in order to make a living together in such small quarters a little bit more bearable. Yeah, of course all the other things are continuing, the baking bread and the giving away bread and dairy and all of this. So of course that is a constant thing that just keeps going. And beyond that, I just get messages every single day of such gratitude that they just cannot believe that people around the world care so much, you know, and that is really touching me on such a deep level. It is beautiful. Now, me personally, I also get some flack, I have to say, because of course not everybody is pro-Ukraine. So I also do get some comments that are very much like Putin is not at fault and stuff like that. But what can I say? You know, what can I say? There are people who are just really brainwashed and don't want to see what is really obvious to like most of the world. I'm not going to be able to change the outlook on life of everybody, you know, so that is not of course what I'm doing here. I'm just giving you an update because I also feel that I have a responsibility here, because I asked you for help and you have been so amazing. Right now when we're filming this, I think the raffle is right around $3,000 that we have raised already, so that is so cool. And of course before we started the raffle, some of you already gave like big amounts straight to my brother, to his PayPal, and that is just like, I cannot even believe how amazing you guys are, and this feeling of standing together and actually being a tribe, you know, that is so cool. And there is so much power in this, and I love it, and I'm so grateful. I'm really truly forever grateful. So of course what you can do is to share this video, because most of you have already donated, and I'm not going to ask you to donate again. You know, I know that you're already doing what you can, but what you can do is of course give the video a like, comment under the video, and share the video, because all of these things help to put the word out, of course, and also to influence the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, towards my video, you know, in favor of this video. So that is just super important, because a lot of people don't click on content like this because, you know, it's so much easier to just deal with nice eyeshadows and not with political situations that are potentially really triggering, you know. So, but it's just life, and we need to also face the facts of life and cannot just be in a bubble. As much as we like to be, and how beautiful it would be to just create our own little beauty bubble, but the world is out there and stuff is happening, and we kind of have to react to this. Okay, sweetie, this is what it is. Of course, you will find everything that I spoke about, all the links in the description box down below, and of course follow me on my social media, because there you will of course also find the updates regarding the raffle. Beyond that, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and of course my next videos will of course be beauty content, but I'm trying to have about one video per week up with updates for Ukraine and my brother's work and my brother's well-being, as long as it is necessary. All right, sweeties, this is it from me for today, and thank you again for everything that you're doing. God's blessings to you, sweeties. You are absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, and hugs and kisses, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.